Today, I want to talk about the most powerful muscle growth mindset. So the goal of the information I'm about to give you is giving you the ability to see what makes sense when you hear different pieces of fitness advice and know what you can just ignore because it just doesn't reconcile with the principles that are just immutable. Hi, my name is Jaquish. I'm a doctor of biomedical engineering, which gives me a unique perspective beyond a lot of what you see on YouTube with different fitness influencers who typically have a sports performance background. Today, I want to talk about the most powerful muscle growth mindset. So the goal of the information I'm about to give you is giving you the ability to see what makes sense when you hear different pieces of fitness advice and know what you can just ignore because it just doesn't reconcile with the principles that are just immutable. So the reason I want to do that is just because I get so many questions from X3 fans of mine who they'll be trying to move along with the principles that I talk about in my book, Weightlifting is a Waste of Time, or in my training programs for the X3. And then they'll come across something else that's in conflict with what I'm typically talking about. And so the conclusions they come to is they don't know what to do. And that is super frustrating. Or they try like both things at once, and both things at once are, it's not going to work out, especially if they're conflicting principles. You're compromising one for the other. Either way you look at it, it's bad. Just this morning, I answered a question where somebody's like, you can do high intensity training and volume at the same time. And like, no, you can't. Because if you know you're going to do a bunch of sets, you're holding back on your first few sets. And then your latter sets, you don't have enough glycogen in the muscle to really give it a real performance, and you don't get any relevant real mechanical tension. So, okay, let's get into this. What I want to point out is that mechanical tension is what drives muscle growth. So the pump, the pooled metabolites within the musculature, some of which we know are involved in the growth process, and we have, like, science hasn't even named them yet. I was in Greece a couple years ago, and they talked about 20 muscular growth factors that haven't even been named that are being discussed in certain, like, really deep level, cellular level physiology research having to do with muscular stimulus. What I want to look at, and there's two sets of studies that I think are so important. One is that mechanical tension ultimately is the driver of muscular growth. And if you want to add to that at all, it's relevant mechanical tension with velocity loss or fatigue. So like just taxing yourself, like if somebody went and did like just a 1 rep maximum and thought that was like their whole workout, you didn't really get to fatigue. Even if that's your maximum, you really want to make sure that there's nothing else in the tank. So 1 RMs are, they're dangerous. Even with X3, don't try and go for a 1 rep because you end up dealing with so much more force than would be productive or safe. And of course, you know, if you like say you're doing a chest press, and I've seen people who do like a suicide grip and the bar rolls here and snaps them in the chest. Now, it's even if you have like 600 pounds loaded on that, ultimately you're only getting hit by a 9-pound bar. So yeah, you live through that, but it hurts, and you don't want to do that, and that's why you don't want the 1 rep maximums. But you just have to keep in mind that mechanical tension at the highest possible level that the muscle can handle, which means brief, because you can't sustain that for very long. So super high intensity, and you really want it in the least amount of efforts possible, because anything beyond the first effort, you have less glycogen, less fuel inside the muscle to add to the contractile ability. So ultimately, as soon as you compromise that, you're just not really going to get there again. And Dorian Yates points this out all the time. It's never going to happen unless you just keep those those principles in mind. High tension, and you need to go to fatigue, and it needs to be brief. So when you see somebody who's talking about 20 sets per body part, and there's a study that says that, and you know, of course you think there's about 10 body parts people train, so that means you're doing like 200 sets a week. Like, I can tell you, anybody who's doing 200 sets a week is not training with enough intensity, because they know in their first few sets they're going to have to do more sets after that. Therefore, the first sets are going to be lousy and the latter sets are going to be lousy. And I also think that there's a whole group of people who have really doubled down on this. I think part of it is because bodybuilders tend to like this kind of thing. Now, let me tell you something about bodybuilders. We have some evidence, and I'll put the study up here. It's often assumed that anabolic steroids in training are synergistic, and they work together and they build an even bigger, more powerful athlete. It turns out that's not true. It turns out that those two effects tend to be separate. So like somebody who takes the anabolic drugs and doesn't work out still has a muscular effect. That's kind of crazy. And I think that's why bodybuilders sometimes think that they're training experts because they're getting great results. But really, given what I just told you, they could be training completely in a nonsensical way and they'd still grow muscle. Now, of course, don't do this. Don't behave like those guys. Last week I made a video about how they have enlarged organs. By the way, the enlarged organ thing, and I'll link the video that I did last week. Enlarged organs, it was previously assumed, they call that GH gut. It turns out it's not caused by GH. They studied a bunch of different people who were taking high levels of anabolics. To qualify for the study, you had to be taking over 1,000 milligrams or 1 gram per week. So very high level. And they wanted to see like guys who were doing that, guys who were also doing GH, guys who were, whatever the combo was, they broke them up in different cohorts. And it turns out that that's where the excessive organ growth comes from. It's from steroids. It's not from growth hormone. So again, don't mess around with that, but just know that these two things are separate. And also know that TRT, if used strategically, another thing I talk about very frequently, if you use fast-acting testosterone, you can get a lot of the benefits that we see from higher levels of anabolic use just because of the timing. So that's another caveat to the things that we cover in Jaquish Biomedical and all our material, is that there's separate things going on. And once you know that, and you can really look at testosterone in a more strategic way, look at your training with variable resistance in a more strategic way, you can create a more powerful stimulus for growth from the mechanical tension. You can do better with your androgen receptor sites by using TRT strategically, and ultimately we can get a whole lot of people to get to a level of development that was previously not seen with natural athletes or with TRT only, which, and by the way, TRT, the R stands for replacement, so that actually is a natural level. That's the level we're supposed to be at. But again, strategically works much better. I hope this helped, and I hope this gets some of the arguments and issues that people see online and that adds some clarity. And leave me a comment, tell me what you think. If there's any questions, because I know I threw a lot at you, but this is sort of a big picture, how you should look at your training and your approach to being as strong and as big as possible. See you on the next one.
If this video helped you, I want you to subscribe and follow. I'm gonna put out videos on a regular basis. I think they're gonna help a whole lot of people, especially if you're one of those people that doesn't just instantly grow from lifting regular weights. We've got the answer for you.